Welcome back with another episode of A Black Man Sketch, a Ujamaa podcast. This is episode 3.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with my boys.
Manny.
Is Wes.
And we got some special guests. Coming on the podcast. My brother Javon and my boy Julio. So we're gonna hear some conversation from them a little later on. But how y'all doing, man? We at Can Can Wonderland. For you Minnesotans.
Yeah, this joint's more fun than I expected. I just got off the Terminator game. I was shooting at them Terminator robots.
I was playing with basketball hoops. So it's fun. I haven't been here, so it's a new experience for me.
Okay. I didn't even get a chance to look around yet. I was having some good conversation with Brother Kufu. Brother Kufu and Mr. Julius.
Always some good talks.
Yeah, always some good talks.
Most definitely.
So how y'all feeling today, though? What's the weather like?
Surprisingly cool. You know what I mean? Still advise you wear a jacket, but it isn't like bone-chilling, painfully cold.
I mean, that's facts. I agree with that.
Yeah, we've been blessed to not have much snow this winter. We at the end of November, and we haven't had no snow stick.
Which I'm shocked.
Hopefully, keep that going.
All right, so I would love to bring Julio and Javon into the mix.
Julio!
Hey, what's up? How y'all doing?
Good, man.
Motivated.
Hey, that's good. I'm glad to be back.
Julio, what's good with you, bro? How you been?
I've been doing good. Just hanging in there, getting things done.
Yeah, I know you're trying to get your stuff together and all that. You know me, I personally know, so. And I'm happy for you, you know what I mean? Me and you know, so you gonna be all right, you know what I mean?
Appreciate it.
How you feel coming back on the podcast?
I'm blessed to be back on the podcast. I pretty much, I'm glad to be back and trying to get everything situated and stuff with my own personal life. But yeah, I'm glad to be back on the podcast.
For sure. Blessings.
So
to the side of them, we got another brother. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Javon. What's up?
What's up, Javon? How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. We just had Thanksgiving with chilling with family.
That's good. How was your Thanksgiving?
It was pretty good. We had a nice little cookout. My grandma, my auntie cooked up some stuff, some family, friends. We had a nice little time.
Okay. It was here in Minnesota?
Mm-hmm. All up here.
Okay, that's what's up. Did you have family from out of town come?
No, we wasn't able to get everybody this time, but definitely next year around we're gonna do it.
Okay, cool. It's a good plan.
How y'all doing today? I mean, we chilling here at Can having a great time, you know. There's some games out here, some OG stuff, really. I mean, I ain't seen some of this stuff for forever. Like, I'm seeing Super Mario, bro, and Donkey Kong Jr. out here.
Yeah, that's raw. I've never been here before, so this is my first experience with this.
Likewise.
It's my second time.
Second time? Okay.
This is your second time? All right. Yeah, this is my first time as well, to be honest, and it's cool. Like, I ain't expecting you doing something with all these folks.
Honestly, I'm already hooked on the arcade games too, but that golf course actually looked lit,
man.
Yeah, they talking about some. They have the second longest miniature golf hole in the country, and it's 900 feet long.
For real?
Yeah, apparently that's what Eric just told me. Eric is the secretary on the Ujamaa Place board. And he was just explaining that they had that, and apparently it might have broken the record or something like that. But yeah, I want to check that out too.
I just came from over there. Like, y'all picked me up, and I grabbed. I just put one down because I just got a hole in one on the first course.
On the first go, I was like, man, all right.
Dang,
I didn't even get a chance, but
I mean, we gonna roll back out there.
Yeah, give me time to practice. So,
I mean, I'll be honest with you, I was kind of tense coming in. So, but walking around, seeing the place. I've only been in here 15 minutes. I already want to come back a second and third time. I already want to bring girlfriends and family members in.
Great place to decompress.
You put an S at the bottom of that girlfriends. Yeah,
that's crazy.
I like that.
That's wild.
Why not?
I mean, how you feeling about this? I mean, you here too?
Yeah, I'm liking it. I'm feeling the games and stuff. I'm ready for the miniature golf.
Yeah.
I want to see who wins.
So, Jovan, you know what I mean? Because I've been in a couple groups with you, and I've heard you speak, you know what I mean? You going to be coming on the podcast more often? Because you're a very knowledgeable brother.
I mean, if y'all invite me, I'll be happy to. I'm fine coming out, chilling with brothers, talking about stuff, whatever we got. Just hit me up, let me know.
Beautiful. Y'all heard it here first. We might have Brother Javon on another episode or two.
Like that.
We're going to take a pause to hop on these games right quick. We'll be right back.
Ujamaa Place serves the most marginalized population in society, primarily African-American men ages 18 to 30, providing holistic transformation for men experiencing inequity at the intersection of race and poverty. Ujamaa Place helps them achieve brotherhood, stability, and personal success. Join us for an info session Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. For more information, visit ujamaplace.org.
And we are back on the podcast after our short miniature golf break. Had to hit a few of the holes, We're back with a special guest, our secretary of Ujamaa Place Board, Eric Levinson. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Of course. We got Brother Manny and Julio joining us. So we're just going to be asking a few questions to Eric just to see what his weather's like, So first, how did you get involved with Ujamaa Place?
So I was involved with the board of Hallie Q. Brown, also in St. Paul. And they would do an annual event on for Grand Old Days, and I think also for the Selby Avenue Jazz Fest and Rondo Days. So I think there were almost 3 different events. And so I would go to the booth for the Hallie Q. Brown booth and represent Hallie Q. Brown. But I saw that Ujamaa would have a booth also on the road. And so I would meet some of the men and talk with some of the men, and I learned about Ujamaa. And then at some point after that, must have heard that there was a breakfast. And so I went to one of the breakfasts, and we got to meet, see the presentation and see everyone at the breakfast and meet some of the Ujamaa men at the breakfast. And then I became more interested in Ujamaa Place. And then at some point when I was on the board of Hallie Q. Brown, my board term ended after 6 years. And I was thinking to myself, what other kind of a board would I be interested in working with? And Ujamaa Place was always on my mind as a really good place to go after Hallie Q. Brown. And 3M is I work at 3M, and 3M is a big supporter of Ujamaa Place. So when I spoke with our community giving leaders at 3M and talked about Ujamaa Place and me joining the board, they thought that would be a really good for 3M to have someone on the board.
Right. Okay. So how does your relationship or your employment with 3M, how does that work into your employment with Ujamaa?
Yeah, good question. So I'm an attorney, and attorneys can be helpful to have on boards because they have a lot of different experience working with organizations. Also, if you work for a corporation, you get a lot of experience working with a number of committees and teams to get things done and following certain processes. And so that's something that's really helpful if you're on a board.
Right.
So it's a good connection there. And then 3M really encourages its employees to support organizations in the community. And so it's even something when we do our performance appraisal each year, they actually ask you, what have you done for the community in addition to your work for 3M? And so 3M is very supportive, both financially, because 3M donates money as well to Ujamaa and other important organizations. And so anyway, it's just a good connection to be both an employee of 3M, but also to represent 3M in the community.
Right.
And again, as an attorney, I also have connections and other people that I know that I can introduce to Ujamaa and spread the Ujamaa story.
Okay.
I wanted to add a question. How would a partnership with 3M look?
So I think there's already, in a sense, there's a kind of partnership in place. And so the way that works is 3M will donate, allocate a large amount of money. And I'll just use an example. Let's say it's $100,000, just as an example. And so if 3M makes a donation like that, 3M's really good in the sense that they don't say, and you have to do this, and this with $100,000, right?
It's not
So they give
restricted.
it's unrestricted, exactly. It's for general ops. But it's really important for the executive director to have a good relationship with 3M, so there's that trust, so that 3M feels comfortable giving a large sum of money to the organization, knowing what they'll do. And then the executive director will report back to 3M and say, hey, thank you for your support. Here's what we've done in the past year, with the support that you've provided to us.
Okay. Are you able to share any success stories from how you've seen during your time on the board and during working with 3M, success stories of Ujamaa Men that have been able to give back to the organization?
I haven't, in the sense that I don't know some of those stories myself.
Mm-hmm.
What I will say is that we do make an effort to have Ujamaa Men, people that have gone through Ujaamaa's programs, on the Ujamaa board of directors. And that's pretty unusual because a lot of boards of directors will just have, attorneys and executives.
Right.
And they won't have as many representatives of the community. And they won't have, many of them don't have programs like Ujamaa. And even if they do, they don't have people that have been through the programs on their board.
Right. That's important.
So I think it's a really good practice. And I think it's good for the Ujamaa Men to serve on the board. And it's really good for the board to get to meet the Ujamaa Men in that way, and working collaboratively that way.
Is there an Ujamaa Man on the board right now?
Yes. And just, yes. Saviti's still on the board, yep.
Richard?
Richard.
Yeah. Richard and Saviti.
Okay.
So Richard's our vice chair. So he's the vice
okay.
chair of the board, and a former, and an Ujamaa, maybe always an Ujamaa Man, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. And how long have you been serving?
So I've been on the board for over 3 years.
Okay. And how long are the terms?
So you can serve up to 2 4-year terms. So I came in kind of in the middle of a year, so I'll be finishing my first term, and then I'll have a second 4-year term if the board invites me back.
Okay. So, as a member of the board, if you were in our position as Ujamaa Men, what would you say could be put in place to have Ujamaa Men give direct input to leadership or to board members on decisions that are made for Ujamaa Men?
Yeah, so I think one possible opportunity is to actually have a portion of the board meeting where Ujamaa Men could just show up and talk, or have their voices heard.
Right.
Because we do have time. We set the agenda, right? The board gets to pick the agenda, and Sammy Clark is our board chair, and I'm sure he'd be very receptive to something like that. So that's one way. It could be during a board meeting, but it doesn't have to be during a board meeting, right? So it could be at an event like we're having right now, or it could be a lunch or a power hour type lunch.
Right.
And the point is, you could have the power hour, and you could have some number of board members, committed to showing up to the lunch, and then you could have whatever Ujamaa Men want come and just give their input on suggestions on what they would like to see.
Okay. Noted, for sure.
Yeah, and I encourage that, because the truth is, the board, and me speaking as a board member, we don't always know what's important to the Ujamaa Men.
Right.
We don't. I work at 3M. I live in Woodbury. I don't know. Unless someone shows me something or talks to me, I don't have that background. So
True.
It's really helpful for us to get direct input from the men.
Okay.
Oh my God, just one question. How is your experience with the Ujamaa place?
How's it been?
Yes.
It's been really good. People were really welcoming. It's been, I came during COVID, and so it was hard for Ujamaa too, for both the Ujamaa Men and the staff, right? When you can't do as much in person,
Right.
It was a real challenge, but we were able to have our board meetings by Zoom. And I felt like we still got to know each other as much as you could, over the Zoom meetings. And I've enjoyed learning about the programs, and I enjoyed the executive directors. There's already now a second new executive director, right?
Yep.
I'm getting to work with as well. and just the opportunity to meet the staff, who I didn't know before. And then getting to meet some Ujamaa Men with certain events like the one that we're having today.
Yeah.
It's just a really good opportunity to get to meet people. Because if you don't if you don't plan that, it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen naturally.
True.
Right? You have to make it happen.
So working for this organization, I guess you could say it's kind of like community, it gives kind of like a community orientated kind of vibe. Have you done any work in community before taking this position?
Yeah, in a sense. So I'd mentioned I was on the Hallie Q Brown board.
Right.
So I was working with that board for 6 years. Before that, I was on an board of an organization called Neighborhood House.
Okay.
And Neighborhood House is located on what they call St. Paul's West Side, which is just south of downtown St. Paul.
Yep.
And it helps immigrants that are newly arrived in the U.S., a lot of whom don't speak English. And it has the types of foods that they might eat with their culture, helps them learn English, helps them become U.S. citizens, helps them get a job. And so I was on that board for probably 6 or 7 years, and then I termed off. But then you can come back off on the board after a few more years. So I came back on the board for another 6 years. So I've been involved with that community organization for several years, and Hallie Q Brown for several years, and now Ujamaa Place. So that really is in many ways, that is my connection to the community.
Okay, wow. I appreciate that. Well, I don't think any of us have any more questions for you, so I really appreciate you taking the time to talk with us. This was really insightful, and hopefully we can get you back on another episode with some other board members, maybe.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for the opportunity. And I look forward to being invited back.
Of course.
Appreciate it.
Well, that wraps up episode 3 of A Black Man Sketch. We'll see you guys on the next one.